Hello.
Stream Elements. Welcome to my channel. Use speak to have your message read to me. If you
Hold
want me to
on,
get
we
your
have to
attention
say
more.
hi to Stream Elements, I guess. Hi! So, I love Satisfactory unapologetically. And, um, what the fuck is that bird? I'm really happy about that bird. Anyway, I thought I would, uh, show off some of my builds. Because there's new stuff. um, so here we go. Let's show some builds. If experimental will load my game, they were like, "Hey, be afraid," and I was like, "I don't know, guys. You're pretty good about this, I guess." Okay, so here we go. Uh, oh, hoo, hoo. Yeah, this is my main game. Um, it has been a minute, so I have to figure out. Is it C to go down? Yeah, it is. Okay. So this is my space elevator. Um, I built this housing around it because I felt very bitter towards Ada by the end. So if you haven't finished the game, well, guess what? I'm about to show you some spoilers. But, uh, ooh, they optimized this pretty well. Um, Suck it, Ada. Day saved, it says. Except Ada got the last laugh, and we know that. Anyway, this is my first main base. I eventually abandoned it, as you usually do, but I did build it up pretty well before. Here is the Space Center, Space Elevator Quad. You've got a lot of drones popping out on this building here, and as the floors go up, we'll go inside this tower first. Ah, yes, shift. That is what it is to be faster. um, so, on the bottom floor, we've got uh, what even are you making? Oh, circuit boards. Yeah, okay, sure. So on the bottom floor, we have circuit boards. Uh, they get shunted up to this next floor, which we can get in over here. And here we make computers with them. And the next floor takes those computers, and I think it makes one of those arbitrary space elevator ingredients. Also, I guess there's radiation near me. We've got drones, a drone station here to bring in cables, I think. Um, More individualized. This is for gold wire. Yeah. Over here is one of my many towers of storage containers. You could see I have my doggo houses labeled. Here is, I think this does assembles rotors or takes rotors and puts them into motors. Yeah, okay. This is my resident tick. He just lives here. Uh, Hi, guy. Hello. uh, There is a lot of this stopped production because there was no need for it anymore. Like here, this is empty warehouse. Uh, Look at all this cement, just sort of kicking it in my spaghettis. Oh, beautiful spaghetti here. This is from nowhere to nowhere. uh, we've got some rail here that I guess is doing its part to be a rail. Uh, Here is, I believe this used to make steel bars, and now maybe it still does. Do you still do? Well, this still collects cement. Yeah, this used to do something important. Oh yeah, no, it used to make steel beams. Yep. Uh, More drones, obviously, because drones are the shit. We, oh, the radiation is from their fusion batteries. So this is a delivery route for a truck as well. At night it lights up blue. And this massive shit show is to make encased industrial beams. Uh, so back before there was this glitch where if you had more than 20 doggos, uh, creatures would stop spawning. They've since fixed it, but my doggos are still released, as you can see by where's Turnstile's house? It says, yeah, Turnstile's house released. This was sort of my, yeah, basic materials speed run production. And here's one of the stations to carry that. Let's see. Let's see if we could just catch a train. This is Zephyr loading bay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, See if we can catch a train and go down my really horrible elevator. I have non-aggressive on. If you that bothers you, you can fucking bite me. Um, at some point, I was like, I'm tired of fighting. I just want to enjoy this game. And yeah, okay. So they have directional subtitles, and that makes me really happy. Yeah, so the Zephyr stops by here. What are we on? What train are we on? Oh, it has a little like slash on it. Are you kidding? This is exaggerative. Open train menu. What train are we hanging out on? Tandem Rider. Okay. Yeah, this guy doesn't go very far. But he does go. Ooh, that's right. That always bothered me, that clip. Well, whatever. And I guess now they have signals that can go on either side of the train, which is really exciting. So this is our biological processing plant. Um, Backup power, essentially. Right here. Biological processing, yeah. And this is the station, the base as we leave. So we're gonna cruise past the oil refinery. Yeah. And Evangeline's house. Doggos are the best part of this game. Hands down, hands down. Uh, Never really finished my train tracks, making them cute, so we just have some cement to hold it up. Very classy. Uh, yeah, here's our oil refinery, Evangeline's house, kicking it. Thumbelina's house over there. I actually think that's where John's living right now. The fabric of life. It's a cloth station, of course. Looking down on our oil refinery, our, forget what we call them, pioneer shooter, hypertube. Uh, we go up this incredibly sloppy hill. Space elevator. Trees begin to populate. It's mostly as a result of how much stuff is here. I have to keep the materials from populating until we're close. So this is the Aluminia loading station um, for your aluminum needs. Then we'll swing by our coal processing unit. Over here is one of our backup batteries. This is also mostly defunct, but there's our coal processor over there. Underneath looks pretty messy, but also pretty cool. Actually, it's... Well, no, we can go down the elevator from here. So, this is where we pick up bullets and such. We've got some compressed coal, sulfur. That's sulfur. That's sulfur. Whatever they're what are they called that carry the materials? I don't know why I can't remember this. Conveyor belt. It's sulfur conveyor belt. It's really far, far, far too long. So we hang out here for just a hot second because we're not actually loading next to anything. And then we're gonna boop out. Then we're gonna boop out. We're waiting. There's a train up ahead. Yeah, you can see that there's someone on the elevator here, so we're two trains behind. Bummer. Come on, guys. Let's get moving. It's fine. Yeah, there he goes. Okay, our friend up front is moving, so we'll get moving in a second. You can see the kind of aerial view of base number 1 right here. We'll be going down this uh, train elevator. This horrible train elevator. Jen never stopped making fun of me for this one. You can see our fuck you Ada spire here, even though fucking Ada has the last laugh. If I didn't do this double gate before the spiral, trains would back up because I have, I think I have a 20 train system going on. There's multiple factories here. And we go down this really awkward spiral that you can't even get that fast on because it's really awkward. And then I think I have a portal open by the space elevator so we can get to uh, actually my primary construction facility. Indeed, this is not the primary one. Yeah, we'll hop off at biological processing here. Our, yeah, Tech Center Annex, which harbors a different train line. Here you go. Some biofuel. Alright, let's go get in our portal. We can explore some other factories. Here we go. Yeah. And we enjoy the clipping animation. Alright. We're saving the friggin' day right here. This is our actual space elevator production facility. We have terminals that tell us what we're building and the ingredients that we need. We'll go start with Bay A. So, supersized Bay 1 right here. This is where we do crystals, crystal processing, matter, basically. This is Bay A. And now we have B1 and B2 because we're technically building two things. Bay C. And D over here. Again, we're building two things. We have D1 and D2. E hanging out right here. And then F is over here. Excited photonic residue, Fixonium trigon, OC supercomputers. And we've got a drone down here. Here's our underground train network and hidden spaghetti. Secret spaghetti, as well as our nitrogen facility. Secret spaghetti. Oh, are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make this train? I think we are. No, you don't actually go through Nitrotown. Yeah, so we have... This has a lot of little details on our train lines here. If we head this way... Ooh, we can catch you, right? I think you stop at Nitrotown? No. So a lot of trains run through this particular annex for many reasons. This is Samuel Jackson, or Sam Station. Here we go. We'll snag Samuel L. What train are we hanging on? Sam I am! Alright. We're going to Al Sheets Depot. Al, when I was playing Planet Crafter, Al was the character I played with Vic. She was a former grocery manager, and she would sort and handle the materials work, and Vic's character would go out and do the jury work. And she had a lot of grab and go stations around the world to help him out. So we're heading towards the hub. This is a pretty busy production facility, though I would say it is, at this point, since I'm so late game, it wasn't necessarily the most important. What are these fucking things? Oh, spires. Okay, I made those. They're nothing new. Uh, so we're swinging around, gonna head to, I believe this is Radiance. We have no scalene and radiance. Yeah, scalene and radiance. Uh, we'll talk about the various companies that are housed here. That is Jen's glass house of emotion. Well, he idled there for a very long time here, so we built him a house. Uh, our nuclear factory, nuclear power. You can see I've done the most touches on building my tracks here than anywhere else. Al Sheets Depot, where you get aluminum sheets. uh, I think this train is just gonna go right on back to the sand processing facility, yeah. Well, it'll bring us behind the waterfall at least, so we'll take that ride. Uh, Probably hop off there and go look inside some buildings. So off we go. Um, it is actually kind of a bitch to get different areas with different colors because you have to be really mindful of your electricity uh, circuits. Because if they overlap in any way, they're going to change all your lights to the color that they overlap with. Can be really frustrating. So this is our second biological processing facility. Again, backup power, lots of bioplants, lots of biofuel. See this really pretty waterfall we're about to head over to. As soon as this very busy intersection moves along, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of leeway here, or it's all right, guy. I know you had right away, but trains are dicks sometimes. Here we go. So biological processing again, we've got these bio burners over here. Another power bank because we will never run out of power again. All right, we'll hop off here. So this is our uranium depot. Really simple, this guy. Just built into this cave. Nothing super special. Um, if we haul butt over here, you can see my spiders are actually cats. Arachnophobia mode. Uh, when I looked at what the spiders actually looked like, I was never happier. I just like cats, so I was like, oh, you'll replace them with cats? Great. Um, so we're right by the biological processing facility, so I guess we'll wander through here. Lots of fluid packagers, empty canisters. Everything's backed up for 8,000 years because this is backup power, so it should be. If we go past this geothermal plant, we get to concrete evidence, which is, as you might expect, a concrete plant. You have concrete storage right here. This is one of the few places where all of the storage is not actually full, so you can see it running. And that is because we also make, I forget what the item is, but it uses concrete here. We have this cool little bridge here because next to concrete evidence, it's a dual purpose building, is heavy assembly, where we make heavy frames. This is what I mean, is that heavy assembly is typically green, but I was sloppy with my electrical circuits and now it's pink. So heavy assembly right here. I'm very fond of the architecture on this building. Oh no! Sorry. Okay. Some of our train track support art here. I very much like to hide my conveyor belts under things, as you can see. We have here one of Al's depots. Yeah. And then mostly our nuclear power is here. It's our fancy buddies, right? We also have our runoff water. This, I believe, what did I name you? I think this is Scrap. Scrap Town. Let's see. Drone Town Scrappers. We do scrap. Here is my rainbow bridge. Hand selected all of those hex codes. Laid down the large monitors one after the other. And you can see it goes back that way. And roughly when I ran out of steam, for this area at least, we're making some sulfuric acid over here. Again, for our nuclear power. Dronetown Scrappers, they are one of our main distribution points. Here's our nuclear power bay, our primary. And we try to process our uranium waste. And then over here is Radiance and Scalene power plants. Scalene is one of those companies that doesn't actually really do anything. They just have a cool power, balanced, sexy. You. You. Scalene. Except Scalene has shopped out all their power to other people at this point. As you can see, they're pretty empty. Liars. Radiance is next door. Radiance is also full of shit. It's their sub company. And then this is the Refinery Town, USA. It's used to be far worse than this. It's still pretty bad, but the spaghetti used to be like chef's kiss. Hey, what's up, guy? You're up pretty high, my dude. You can get a pretty good overview from up here. This is my swamp. It's my swamp. There is one more place to look at. It was my first building here, actually. Set the tone. a mismatch here. I'm trying not to think too hard about it. This has got some tasty, tasty pasta. Uh, this is called Swampus. We make stuff. Swampus Ironworks. And as you might suspect, it works in iron. We can. Oh, goodness, I keep hitting the wrong button. We can sneak in here. Right there. And actually, there is another location too where I almost forgot. You can hear some cats. Nitroglycerin is right here. And then this guy. Copper, anyone? I love the idea of three-dimensional surfaces. And, yeah. So, I we have one more place to go in this area, and that is the Doggo Village. Um, where, as you might expect, the doggos roam. Over here is, it's just an energy bank. It's got some pretty cute towers, but otherwise. Can see concrete evidence is labeled here. Yeah, those are all individual beams used for style. Took a while. Those are little 1 by 1 squares for lighting. This has an Ada core production. Concrete evidence of pioneer inefficiency in Ada core production. Ada core and by extension, concrete evidence is a subsidiary of Fixit Inc. All rights reserved. I like to play pretend a lot. Uh, so we're heading over to Doggo Village, which is my very precious doggo town. If you go to this place on the map, up to 10 doggos will spawn here, and it's amazing. So, spoiler. Got a couple of slightly better elevators here. This is Station 42 in Doggo Depot A. Um, at one point, I wanted to do this great storage bay, so it started off here, but as Jen was quick to point out, it's not very necessary. But we do have this really cool spiral staircase I made, except for this one misaligned beam, and we're not going to talk about it. Uh, uh, and then here's the Doggo Village. It's themed. So we have it's European flags actually, because I tend to just name my doggos whatever comes to mind when they appear, and except this one. This is Japan. At least I'm inspired by Japan. Um, but when I was first beset by doggos, Nihon. Thanks, Nihon. When I was, and I think, yeah, Jungle. This is basically, uh, the Asian power block here. When I was first beset by doggos here, uh, For some reason, I was like, that one's name is Estonia, and it's stuck. So here is Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. I have had many doggos get out, so you will find that I am vicious about doors. Stop. Stop. E. E. Okay. Oh, that's actually fairly nice. Thanks, Latvia. Good job, Lithuania. So they live in a complex together, so they can hang out. Estonia, as a country, has like a real big obsession with black. So I tried to include that here. All of the buildings are very symmetrical as well, and all of them follow the flag proportions. So if it's a 3-to-9 ratio on the flag, the building is 3-to-9, and the colors are proportional to the stripes on the flags. Yeah, because I don't know, I've lost my mind at some point and never got it back. Oh, this is, oh. Go. Oh, man. E. Oh, getting in and out of them, though, because I'm so paranoid is difficult. That one's lit up green. It should let me out. Whatever. Whatever. I think. There it is. Oh, Lord. Why does my jetpack not work here? Why? Okay. We're gonna get out of here. And then she died with the doggos. How she always wanted to go. There we go. Yeah, so, and I was surprised I was autistic. Uh, so over here is Norway. We have Sweden, which, is very IKEA. I felt bad for Sweden. Nordica in here. Where is your door, Nordica? I think yours is up and over here. Yeah. Oh, to think that moving around in this game was second nature for a while. Okay. There's Nordica. Hi! Hold still. Oh, this is Eurovision. That's right. Eurovision kept bailing out of their own home, so they ended up in Nordica. And I think Norge just got out, period. So, uh, anyway, let's get out of here. All right. Sweden. Denmark. I tried to use the language's word for their places. Yeah. Woof. So, Sweden. Oh, goodness. Hi, guy. Sverga. He has a really huge house. It's kind of lonely in here, I guess. I try to come see them every time I play. All right. Let's go to Finland over here. So Finland, you can see, has like this really cool striping. You can also hear that Suomindi, because Suomi is the Why? Why? Why is the jetpack so picky today? Yeah. Saunas, they usually have little music and such. Where's Swolmindy? Swolmindy! There you are. Hi, Swolmindy. These two were named Mork and Mindy, so they got ah, yes, ladder because jetpack. Okay. And that's why this is Danmork. Danmork right here. Yeah, Danmork. Hi, guy. That's Danmork's house. I think Nev Campbell is in the middle. Because it was the party of five initially. So Nev, it was the party of five and Nev Campbell. Those of you who are old might get this reference, maybe not. Mayor Nev Campbell lives here. Hi, Nev. Very industrial place for Nev. And that is Doggo Village. So we'll take a little train ride around the area at night because it's quite pretty. And then we'll go to our last major settlement location. Hold still, my guy. No, I want to ride on you. Ugh, lame. Oh, I got myself beat up a bit, didn't I? Is there a train coming soon? You swear you have a billion trains that can never catch a ride. Um, I used to be a comic book colorist, so I really love lighting, so I make sure to try and think about how places are lit every time I build something. I know it's not as cool as some of the builds other people do, but I think they're pretty good. Alright, let's see if we can get on a train to that last section in the sky. Ugh, all the spiders peeping. You never thought that you'd hate meowing till now. Oh, I like some of the updates they did on the way light works on the trains. Pretty. Most of my trains are copper, so they also reflect light fairly well, but I figure we'll cruise over here because what I do know is that a good deal. Oh, here's the edge of the world. Have you really done your best? You can't hide from Fix It. You know if you belong here. The next pioneer will be better, and the expectation is you should jump. Shh. Yeah, we'll just go up to this guy up here and catch somebody here. This will run us through the site of this crazy power plant Jen started building and some of our sulfur processing. Sulfur gulper. Also in one of the better spirals I've made. Alright, down we go. So we'll cruise through Nitro Town real quick. And then we cut past some of our spaghetti to the different processing stations. There's actually like a dark matter storage place right over there. This is one of our major assembly plant stations. Almost every train has something to drop off here or pick up. So off we go, cruising round the bay. That was Assemble. I think that one is something like Stung Bee or something. It was the original name they gave it, and I just kept it because I enjoyed it. Next stop for Sulfur Gulper is Edge of the World, which means cruising by some of the spider dens. And going through this heinous crime to train manatee. What are... Oh, portals. Oh, that's right. I built a bunch of portals, but I never built other portals. I never gave them other ends. Um, Basically, I finished the game and I expected post-game content, but once you finish the space elevator and all that, you can't even really build anymore. Ada just kind of like says, fuck you, and you move on. Though, in the experimental build, there's supposed to be thousands more bits of dialogue from Ada. Um, so probably just start a new game. This is a very dangerous intersection. It took a very long time to get these signals right so that trains did not keep running into each other. You should be proud of me. But as you can see, the path for the Sulfur Gulper is not very efficient, as we've already gone through here before. Um, yeah, that's the little bit of a dark matter storage facility over there. But whatever, you know? I do what I want. Mini train elevator. This is one of the better ones. All right. And now we have our this guy, he goes over here. He doesn't actually go the rest of the way. So we're gonna hop off, be disoriented for a hot second. Yes, okay. And then we're gonna head towards our double decker. So I actually have a double decker train path where trains will run simultaneously on top of each other. Very cool if you can catch them running at the same time, which sometimes you can. This is the build site for a very ambitious power plant that, when Jen and I mutually burned out on Satisfactory, never got finished. But it got started. Right here. So this is a train station piping in all the materials that Jen needs to do it for rocket fuel. Uh, so then, water homies unite. Here's some water storage here. We're about to go to this super fancy train station I made slash sulfur. Um, all of this is like blue gold. Uh, does anyone here remember the Encarta digital encyclopedias? They had this creepy circus theme with this really cool color palette, and for some reason that got stuck in my head. But this is actually best when the sun rises, so I'm really excited we're getting here now. Um, so inside this train station, here we go. You can see the shadows starting to form. I was trying to think, I spent a fair amount of time in New York City when I was younger, and Grand Central Station had such beautiful lighting. I took to the train to New York a lot, so just wait for the sun to rise. This is how you make a recessed window, by the way. You cheat. Yeah. I try to make digital spaces that I wanted to spend time in. I have fairly bad depression. Sometimes it's almost impossible for me to figure out how to feel better. Sometimes it just never ends. And I do feel a little better being in pretty spots, even if I may never have the money to be in them again. Hmm. I think that's it. I think that's all I got for y'all. I guess if you follow this long enough, you'll run into couple other stations, but nothing developed. Hi, lady. Yeah, I'm being told I have to leave. Um, but that's my build tour. Hope you have a wonderful day.